Could former Vice President of the United States Kamala Harris be the next governor of the state of California? We're going to break that down in today's video. Hello everyone and welcome. So in this article by Fox News, I'm going over the news that Kamala Harris has revealed a very important timetable for making a major decision about the state of California and whether or not she will seek the governorship or run for president in 2028. Former Vice President Kamala Harris is setting a timetable to make a major decision about her political future. This article I'm reading on Fox News is written by Paul Steinhauser, by the way. Harris, who lost last November's White House election to President Trump, is seriously considering a 2026 bid to succeed term-limited Governor Gavin Newsom of California. He is a Democrat. Additionally, a source in the former vice president's political orbit confirmed to Fox News Digital that Harris has told allies she will decide by the end of the summer on whether to launch a gubernatorial campaign. The news was first reported by Politico. There has been speculation since last year's election regarding Harris, who replaced then-President Joe Biden as the Democratic Party's 2024 presidential nominee last summer after he dropped out of the race amid mounting questions over his physical and mental stamina. The two potential options for Harris are launching a gubernatorial run next year in her home state or seeking the presidency in 2028. Extremely early polls in the next Democratic Party presidential nomination race, which are heavily reliant on name recognition at this point, indicate the former vice president holds a significant lead over other potential White House contenders. It is very unlikely she could do both. Running and winning in 2026 as governor of heavily blue California, the nation's most populous state, and home to the world's fifth largest economy, would likely take a 2028 White House run off the table, allies and political analysts have indicated. Harris served as San Francisco District Attorney, California Attorney General, and represented California in the U.S. Senate before joining Biden's ticket in 2020 and winning election as vice president. While no decisions have been made, the former vice president is vowed to remain politically involved. Harris, in a video message to the Democratic National Committee as it huddled for its winter meeting a month ago, pledged to be with the party every step of the way. Harris recently spoke at the NAACP Image Awards as she accepted the organization's Chairman's Award. This weekend she is headed to Las Vegas. Nevada is an early voting state in the presidential primary calendar and a key general election battleground, to speak at Human X, which is an AI-themed conference. If Harris decides this summer to launch a gubernatorial campaign, she would likely clear much of the field of Democrats. California Attorney General Rob Bonta said last month he would support Harris if she decides to run and that she would be field clearing if she launched a campaign. Bonta, a former state lawmaker who has served as California's Attorney General since 2021, said he would run for re-election next year rather than launch a gubernatorial campaign, putting to rest the speculation about his next political moves. Kamala Harris would be a great governor, Bonta said in the interview with Politico. Among the more than half a dozen Democratic candidates already running for governor are Lieutenant Governor Alani Kounalakis, a Harris ally, and former Los Angeles Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa. Former Representative Katie Porter, who unsuccessfully ran for the Democratic Senate nomination last year, has also expressed interest in launching a campaign. Additionally, former Health and Human Services Secretary Xavier Becerra, who served in Congress and as the California Attorney General before joining the Biden admin, is also seen as a potential candidate. Many of the current or potential candidates would likely stand aside, though, if Harris did enter the race. On the Republican side of things, the longtime Trump loyalist Richard Grenell, who is serving as U.S. envoy for special missions in the president's second administration last month, floated a potential bid for California governor if Harris also runs, saying, "If Harris or Kamala Harris runs for governor, I believe she has such baggage and hundreds of millions of dollars and educating the voters of how terrible she is that it's a new day in California and the Republican actually has a shot," Grenell said. Meanwhile, Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco last month announced his candidacy for governor as a Republican. Former Fox News Channel host and current and conservative commentator Steve Hilton is also considering making a GOP gubernatorial bid. In California, unlike most other states, the top two finishers in a primary, regardless of political affiliation, advance to the general election. It has been nearly 2 decades since a Republican won statewide office in California, back to former Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger in 2006 re-election victory. And again, Paul Steinhauser wrote this article. So that's the latest on that front. Looking at the governor's race for California in 2026, as the article mentioned, there'll be no shortage of Democratic candidates on this side. But if Kamala Harris were to run, she is the former Vice President of the United States, and as the early primary polling has showed so far on the Democratic side of things for 2028, she still holds a lot of, not really control, but a lot of influence over the Democratic Party. She starts out around 35 to 40% in most polling that I've seen so far, and I'll show you this also, what I am referring to. Let's go to the Democratic primary here, looking for opinion polling. Here it is. Okay, so this is the Republican primary. Now let's look for the Democratic primary. Here we go. On race to the White House right now, the average starts out with Kamala Harris leading by about 24.6%. And when you look at all the polls across that have been done so far, she has at least a 20 to 30 point lead in almost every single one of them. As the article mentioned, a lot of this is name recognition, as she was most recently on the ballot in every state in the United States, so it's not a surprise she's leading, but obviously she's still very influential in the Democratic Party. Having the former vice president run for governor of the state could be seen in the political world as maybe a step back for Harris. Is kind of like the office of governor being below the office of vice president, being a little bit demeaning. But I actually think this could be a smart move for Harris's political prospects. Running for governor of California gives her the opportunity to, if she wanted to run in 2028, she really could, but let 2028 play out, be governor for 2 terms. If she were to get elected in 2026, well then she would serve through 2 terms to 2034, which means she would be term limited after the 2032 presidential election. So if she wanted to seek that election in 2032, she absolutely could. At that point, she would have at least 1 term, about 1.5 terms of being governor under her belt as experience and things to run on. Will she run for governor? Will she run for president? I'm not sure. It's all going to remain to be seen, but there's no shortage of candidates on either side. But Harris would have a very good chance at winning this race. When you look at how California voted in 2024 for president, it voted by 20.1% for Harris for president. Looking at the history of the governor elections in California, it voted for Gavin Newsom by about 18.4% back in 2022. Looking at 2018, it voted for Newsom by 23.9 points. And if you want to go back to 2014, what was a very good Republican wave year, it voted for the Governor Brown by 19.9%. So California has consistently voted in a safe Democratic margin. Maybe it could shift if there was like a very good night for the Republicans, but at very least, out of all the 36 governor's races on the map, California starts out as safe Democrat without a doubt. Harris being on the top of the ticket, I think, would only cement that being a safe Democratic state. That's all I have for you in this video today. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to give the video a like. Please remember to click subscribe and leave a comment below telling me what you think about this. Do you think Harris will run for governor? Do you think she would run for president? Do you think she would win? I'm interested to hear what you have to say down below. Thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you in a future video. That will do it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to give it a like. And if you really liked it, please remember to click the subscribe button. And make sure you turn post notifications on so you always get notified when I post a new video. That way you never miss one. Also, please remember to share this video with your friends and family if you really like the video. And remember to stay tuned because I'll be posting at least 1 video every single day leading up until Election Day. So I'd really appreciate it if you keep coming back and watching those videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in a future video.